What's up everybody, Joshua Casper here with Loopmasters, and today I'm going to show you how to use Bassmaster to get the bass I made for this future pop track. So this is what the bass sounds like by itself. So it's pretty raspy, it's got the LFO filter on there, and there's also that nice clean sub that's going direct out. So I'm going to go ahead and remake this patch start to finish and tell you a little bit about the synth along the way. I also want to mention that I'm using a song starter from a pack. If I come in and right click show in browser, it's from Triad Sounds called Ultimate Future Bass and Pop. So if you like this sound and you want to check out the pack, I'll leave a link in the description below. Okay, so let's just go ahead and restart this. So I'm gonna just go ahead and delete Bassmaster, come into plugins, Bassmaster, drop it on the channel, and this is the initial patch and what it sounds like. So the first thing we want to do is find the samples that I used before. So for the top layer, I used from the high rich swell. So if we come down here, rich swell loop, that's it. And for the sub layer, I used the basic sine sub loop here. Cool, and one thing I wanted it to do for this top layer was fade in. So start off kind of low and then fade in. So that's when I cranked up the attack. And I want to bring up the decay as well. And one last thing I want to do over here while we're dealing with these is drop this down an octave. So now it's an octave lower than it was before, and it's giving it that nice low sub end, and I love it. Let's jump over to the filter. I'm going to crank up the pre-drive about halfway. You can see right off the bat that's going to give us more volume or output. I'm going to use the low pass 18 LDR, but as you can see, we got plenty of other options inside of here. And I'm just going to bring the cutoff down a little bit. And I'm not going to use the filter envelope over here, but it's there if you want it. I mean, we'll leave it there for now. On the original patch, I didn't actually use that. I think I added a little bit of resonance. And what I did was use the filter LFO down here on the sine wave. I had it synced to the project at an 8th note, so that's all set. Phase is fine, and I want the re-trigger on. I also want to point out that I have the sub on direct out, so I'm going to add all three of these effects to that top layer, and it's not going to affect that sub layer. I want that sub layer to be super clean, so that's why the direct out is on. I can turn it off, and then these effects will affect that as well as the filter, but if I have direct out, the sub will bypass the filtering system and these layer effects and just go straight to this master effects. So let's turn on the stereo chorus here and just crank up the amount and the rate until we get something that's pleasant. We got some other options. I'm gonna go with detune maybe. Yeah, let's go detune. I am going to turn the reverb on. I'm going to leave it on bright, but we do have mid and dark in there as well if we wanted them. I'm going to turn the level up a little bit and the size like way up. And something you want to keep in mind that these effects do have low cuts on them behind the scenes, so you don't need to worry about it muddying up your bass, and your mix is still going to be sounding great and be ready to go. And I'm going to turn on distortion. We've got desk, drive, fuzz, crush, and dual. I'm going to turn it on drive. And we're pretty close. Let's listen to it in context of the track. Okay, so it's still a little bit quiet in the mix. I had to turn it up a little bit, and that's because I haven't applied the frequency booster over here. This is like an OTT compressor for the bottom, mid, and top of the output signal. So I'm going to turn it up just a little bit. I don't want to go too crazy. And let's just go ahead and solo the channel one more time. So you can see here, I've boosted the bottom end just a whole bunch, and the middle just a little bit, but I'm leaving the top alone, and that's because this track already has a lot of high-end frequency content with the synths and the pads and everything like that. So I don't want to push too much from Bassmaster, but I just want Bassmaster to fill up that low and low mid area. And that sounded pretty good to me. If I was going to go ahead and produce this track start to finish, I'd probably come over here to the mod controls, and I'd leave pre-drive on the filter on. I might put the reverb size over here, and just turn them up like this, and then maybe the cutoff over here and turn it down or something, just so I could automate the mod parameter over time, just to give it a little bit of motion, maybe for the breakdown or build up or something. So, that's something I would think about doing. There's also your pitch control. And you can change the range from 1 to 12, so full octave. And then, of course, glide is there. I'm not going to use it for this project, but it is there if you want to use it. You've got portamento or legato glide modes built right in. And that's pretty much it. That's how I made the bass for this track. It's really easy to make things like this with Bassmaster, just because the way all the samples already fit together right out of the gate. You can get some really great, interesting sounds very quickly and easily, and they're always mix ready.